Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to add my voice to those we've heard already this morning in lamenting the woeful performance of Southern Railway over the past few months and year or two. I think there are four principal problems which other members have already alluded to. The first of those is persistent lateness. The second of those is an excessive number of cancellations. The third of those are short trains leading to gross overcrowding of the kind we've heard about already, particularly difficult for pensioners and people with disabilities. And finally, this practice of station skipping, where a station is missed out in order to catch up on time. And I strongly suspect that station skipping occurs in order to just meet or just come inside the half-an-hour delay repay deadline. And I must say that my own local station, Coulsdon South, appears to be a particular victim of this insidious practice of station skipping. The figures tell their own story. As recently as about 3 years ago, the PPM measure, a measure of punctuality on Southern Railway, was around about 90%. I know there are other measures, but this is the one that gets published most often. Over the last 2 or 3 years, this measure has consistently declined month on month and now sits at only just over 80%, which is far too low. If you compare that to other parts of the railway system, you see how woefully bad that is. London Overground, for example, a metro railway, which is run by Transport for London, the PPM figure there is 95%, which shows you what can be done with a well-organised system. I would add also that 80% figure is the worst in the United Kingdom. So we're not complaining about the structure of the railway in general, we're complaining about this particular line that is the worst in the United Kingdom. And my honourable friend, the member for Croydon Central, Gavin Barwell, is with us today and I know shares all of my views on this terrible service which affect his constituents every bit as much as they affect mine. I also, Mr. Turner, deplore the fact that in the improving performance of Thameslink and Southern Railway document published a few months ago, the targets for improvement are extremely unambitious. The 2015-2016 target for PPM is only 81%, which is barely better than we're experiencing at the moment. So that is an unacceptably low aspiration. And even by 2018-2019, nearly 5 years away, the aspiration is only 87%, still below where the railway system was a few years ago. Mr. Chairman, perhaps this problem is best illustrated by a few tweets which I have recently received. One is from a gentleman who I know quite well, who tweets as Maximus Thurbon, who says, my train this morning, I think he's modelling himself on the guy from Gladiator, says, this morning my train was late by 10 minutes and my train home was cancelled, another normal day on Southern Railway. Another tweeter said, evening rush hour can only mean one thing, Southern network delays and cancellations. Another person said, Southern Rail provides a horrific service. Another person tweeted, it's starting to turn into a full-time job, filling out the delay repay forms. So, Mr. Chairman, it is no surprise that when rail users are surveyed, satisfaction is found to be very low, which the consumer organisation recently found that Southern Railway had the second lowest satisfaction of any railway train operating company in this country, and it had the worst satisfaction ratings for delays. Moreover, the Transport Focus Group that my right honourable friend mentioned at the beginning of this debate has seen satisfaction ratings slump from 82% to 72%. Once again, the lowest in the country, but most tellingly for commuters using this railway line, satisfaction is just 60%. And I would contrast that with lines like the Heathrow Express, which has a 94% satisfaction rating, the East Coast Main Line, which has a 94% satisfaction rating, and a railway system called First Hull, with which I must confess I am unacquainted, but this railway has a 96% satisfaction rating. So why is it that our local railway only has a 60% satisfaction rating for commuters? Mr Chairman, there are 2 or 3 points I'd like to put to the Rail Minister and ask her to reply to, and I do know she is working hard to fix these problems. Firstly, could the Rail Minister confirm that there are weekly meetings which she is chairing of a task force with Southern Railway and Network Rail to fix these problems? Secondly, and I will conclude, Mr Chairman, will she consider improving the compensation system, better publicity, maybe reducing the threshold to 15 minutes, as the Honourable Member for Carshalton and Wallington suggested earlier, and I would certainly endorse the Honourable Member for Reigate's suggestion that there is some kind of automatic refund. So if a commuter says, I'm always on the 8:30 train and that train is late, compensation should be automatic. Might I also ask that the Minister considers fining the operating company for station skipping, a problem that affects my own local station.
Yeah, yeah.
And might I further, thank you, might I further ask that if these things don't improve in a reasonable time frame, perhaps the entire operation of the franchise needs to be looked at again if this isn't fixed within a time period of, say, 1 year. So thank you, Mr Chairman, for calling me in today's debate.
Now, we've got about...